Do you know what? Do you know that R7 video you put out? I completely forgot I was going to be in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I did like the little cutaway you did where you're like radio, radio.
Right. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live?
We
Looks like we are.
yeah we are live.
Welcome to the Kirby podcast 4. We are so
Yeah.
disorganised this
Yeah.
week that I
I've
literally had to kind of
yeah
reorganise my entire workstation to do this. But yeah,
I haven't made any notes, so the notes we've got are like very very sparse. So
yeah.
we are hoping for some good questions. Let's wait for some more people to jump on and
Concurrent viewers. It's saying,
make
it's saying 14.
already.
A few on there. Yeah, it kind of jumped up. Yeah, so welcome guys. Back for another podcast. Last week, I don't know what happened last week. Something happened and it just didn't materialise, did it?
I suspect I got COVID because
that's right. That's what it was.
So I thought it was flu personally, and my brother-in-law, he done a test literally 2 days ago. Obviously, it's because he's been around me. My mum was really ill as well, and
no.
we didn't do any COVID tests or anything. Like we just thought, it's just flu. And he done a COVID test and it came back positive. But my sister's had it as well. My mum's had it and she felt really ill. So it's not.
It's still around, isn't it? This is the thing.
Oh, 100%. It wasn't as bad. I don't know if obviously I can't confirm whether it or not, but it wasn't as bad as it normally. Like the first time was really bad. Have you had it or?
Yeah, when I had it, I had COVID, then I had tonsillitis, then I had something else which I'm not going to mention on it. But it was pretty horrible. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It was pretty horrible. But yeah.
What are you drinking this evening, Andy?
I literally haven't got anything right now. I'll probably have to go and get something. We should have started the stream after.
Do you know how I said about the you ain't got any snacks?
Oh yeah.
I feel like this is
you
the
got a
only
whole drawer full.
This is the only prepped thing that I have for this podcast, and I feel so bad now. So
what's he gonna do? Am I gonna have to cut him off?
A whole cheese board.
You're joking.
I am not joking. Hence why the camera is aimed.
So literally, you're going to be sitting there eating cheese and biscuits.
Yeah. I did bring out 2 knives. So if you want to come round,
2 knives.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I think one time, like we're so close in proximity that we really should be in the same building because this setup that we've got going on here with the two screens on Discord. It's probably not the best thing.
If anyone wondering what cheese I've got some Red Leicester. I've got my favourite, which is some Applewood smoked, and I've got a little bit of Port Salut.
Ringway, you did get an invite tonight, and you said you were going to be out. So why are you on here now?
And you stole our thunder as well because you've just released a video we saw.
Good evening, everybody. Have you got a few more joins? So yeah,
if no one minds, I'm going to make myself some cheese.
Go for it. What have you been up to apart from getting stuck in traffic on the M25 because of all these?
You didn't get me started on that.
I've been stuck in that this week as well.
Oh, have you? What did you go to Steve's? Or?
Briefly. No. Yeah. I was heading towards the Dartford crossing, and it just It said.
Sure you won't visit in Steve's because he's round that way.
Yeah, it's off one of that. You would go off at Southend A127, but yeah, basically, I got stuck, and not for too long. Fortunately, I just did a kind of turned off at the first junction. But yeah, honestly, mindless, isn't it? I just don't get what they're doing, why they're doing it. It's silly. I mean, we all know obviously oil is a bad thing, but you can't be doing that. It can't be
not a bad thing.
Chaining yourself. I mean, and also actually, I was looking at something. I saw something in the last couple of days. They were saying that I don't know how true this is, but it would stand to reason that it could be quite true. We've got obviously the amount of wind that's been produced, like wind that's coming at the moment. We've had a lot of wind in the UK. They're saying that the renewable energy has obviously peaked, and they can't do anything with it, so they're having to stop wind turbines, which is nuts because obviously they haven't got any way of storing that energy. I think I was saying to you about this the other day.
Yeah, I do. I take that with a bit of a grain of salt, to be honest. Because
I don't know how true that would be.
The way they manage the power grid is that the renewables give them a flat line. The sun is only shining and the wind's only blowing, X amount of time. Now, with your wind power, you have a flat line. You're make it easy. We're making 100 gigawatts. Yeah. Now, if your demands 150 gigawatts, you'd use your nuclear. You'd use your other gas.
Yeah, it would top it up from the other. But what if the situation happens where you haven't got, that load? If it's in the middle of the daytime, maybe that's, I don't know.
I think what I believe they do is they'll slow down the nuclear plants because they've got the control to do that. They can slow down. Gas is quite versatile, hence why we use it. So that's why we rely on it so much.
It's just filling in the gaps. I just think that if they've got a situation where they're generating too much, too much wind, and there's too much renewables going in, and everything's shut down. I mean, I don't know exactly how it works, but it would make a lot of sense to just use that energy to, preheat water that is going to get obviously ultimately heated up by gas or nuclear to create steam for those power stations. I don't know.
Do you want to go grab some food and snacks? Because I feel like I'm.
No, you're right.
I've outsnacked you and I've outbearded you as well, was the other thing. So
I've had outbeard me.
Yeah, I've got. I literally done a co-op run just before the.
Outbeer. Beard, not beard. I thought you said beard.
No. I'm not man enough to grow a beard.
You got just keep it stable. So we'll go
to this one question, then we'll make a start. When's Fred and the Shed going to get a guest appearance?
Yeah, I mean,
I know you're quite good friends. I feel like Lewis, Fred and the Shed, yourself.
It would be kind of good to have influential people in radio, podcast. Yes, that'd be quite cool. We'd have to do that.
Yeah, we did.
We'd have to do that over we'd have to do that at the studio over in Harlow.
Yeah,
I think because we're not going to fit everyone in here.
You've still got it as well. That's going to at some point disappear.
Yeah, that's gonna will be going soon. But yeah. So what are we going to talk about? We've got a few things on the cards, haven't we?
Should we go straight into the cold shoulder? Because I feel like this is going to just leak out of me because it's so good.
That sounds disgusting. Anything leaking out of you whilst you're stuffing your face with cheese. It's going to be.
I've got a great diet tonight: beer and cheese, and I had a KFC earlier as well. So yeah. So if I'm probably crying on the floor, you know why. So this is a subject you know nothing about, and it's right up your street as well. If you were to grab, say, an electric car, say an electric Fiat with a 400-volt battery in, and you were to stick in a load of amplifiers and a load of subs at 400 volts.
400 volts?
400 volts. Right, so you got high current. You got a lot of current there, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, a Tesla.
To feed into some amps. Yeah. How much bass do you think you could run?
Well, you're going to be into like public address system, rave level sound system, amplification, like watts.
Yeah,
because it's you'd easily be able to achieve like a 10 kilowatt system in a
10 kilowatt. You're saying, yeah?
Well, no, it'd be more than. I mean, it would be as many watts as the car is. What do Teslas draw? I mean, you don't want to actually slow the car down with it, but
This has actually been done, and there's a guy on YouTube,
Has it?
on TikTok. Yeah, it's a Fiat 500 electric in red. He's running 112k.
Wow.
I'll send you. Can I share my screen on here? Can we be that fancy or?
You can, yeah. It'll only be in your section for the moment, but
That's okay. That's all right. You can lose my face. So where is share the right screen? But I don't want to see anything that you don't want to. Right. So if we have
oh,
a
clever! Look at that. We've got
now,
another little
yeah.
screen come up.
Well, clever this. So it's this one. No, it's not this one. Oh, where's that gone?
No, it's not. He's not managed to do it.
Oh, messed it up.
I thought you were going to be replaced by that.
This is it here. Yeah, so 400 volts. Is it gonna load? Okay, that's completely failed me. We'll give that a miss for now.
I don't know if that. I mean, it's coming. It's there. Yeah, something's going. It's very slow, but
yeah. Why does it always,
there we go. It's come up here. No, I can see it now.
Pretty much. Yeah, this guy has got. Let me see if I can just get some pictures up of it anyway.
Loud Fiat.
Yeah. Loud Fiat on Insta. So.
Yeah. Okay.
They're the reels, posts. So has he got?
So what has he done? He's tapped into the 400-volt battery.
Yeah, pretty much. So he's on the main battery. So the more base you run.
That's pretty nuts. I wonder if he's done that through the charging system or.
So he can charge up and use it.
Wait. So it's not a Tesla, is it? It's a.
No.
That's just a Fiat, like a Fiat 500, electric. It's probably going to slow the car down, isn't it? But a massive 12 S4 500 watts up.
So
interesting. Okay.
164 dB. Look at that. Of a Fiat.
What?
That's a joke. I think that was.
I was going to say, he's moving all those cars.
Look at all those breakers in that. Look at how thick those must be.
That's pretty nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Why would you? I mean, some things people do. It's funny. It's all cool. It's all good though, isn't it? Like, it's just proper pushing the limits. My question is,
are you going to do something with the Twizy, something along these lines? Like, are you looking at this thinking, how can I do this?
The Twizy. I mean, it's only got 48 volts, isn't it? So
yeah, you could still do a lot with 48 volts, though.
Well, you could run. I mean, it pulls probably, what is it, 20 kilowatts or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 400 amps.
Yeah.
It would do 400 amps.
Yeah, so he reckons 162 dB from this car.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, which is, I'm not like with the dB sort of, no, they do those competitions, don't they, where they try and get as loud as much pressure in the cars. I know that's quite high. I know 140 is quite a respectable number. But to have 162 dB, that's a sine wave, obviously. It's not just pure music.
Pretty bonkers,
I have not been following the chat. I've not been following the comments on this yet, so.
I've got a few. No, I haven't. I've only just started looking. We've got some fellow hams in the comments there. Greetings to
I do have another thing as well.
Anderson.
I keep meaning to tell you as well.
What's that?
I know you've been poking me about it, and Ringway done it publicly as well. I've started practicing for my license as well. My ham
Have
license.
you?
Yes.
Have you really?
Yeah.
No joke.
100%. Nope, serious.
Have you got the book? Did you get the foundation?
I haven't got the book. I'm still waiting for Essex Ham to get back to me. But I did watch some videos. I watched it about propagation as well. I understand it a bit more now. In fact,
excellent.
It bounces off the stratosphere.
Definitely get that book, because you can kind of work through it, and it's quite nice to sort of does it in a kind of a flow. But yeah, that's awesome, mate. Well done. I'm pleased about that, because
come back to that Fiat. 400 amps is easy enough to pull a human up the hill.
Yeah. Well, do you know what I was looking at? I was looking at the Citroen AMI today
Yeah.
on Citroen's website, and yeah, it's kind of crazy that they bring out a car that does 28 mile an hour. It's kind of weird that, and they're sort of in their whole marketing thing. They're saying, "Come and try it for yourself, just so you're sure, that you want to drive around a car that only does 28 mile an hour."
You get 50cc mopeds that go faster than that. Like, I
I-
think their max. You probably know a bit more about it because you've done the e-bike stuff, but I think it's 31 miles an hour, 50 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, I
But
think
obviously,
it's 28.5 on a moped. I think. I mean, my road legal e-bike build is supposed to do 28.5, but it does about 60. But then that's just the same as that's just the same as having a motorcycle and not driving it outside
you're restricting it.
your restrictions. But yeah, evening Billy No mates. Can you mod an AMI to unrestricted? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing in there. It's highly
anything,
likely.
really. Yeah.
Do you know? But the thing is, in their marketing thing on the website, it says it's a quadricycle, so therefore it's restricted to 28 mile an hour. You can't go faster than 28. But the Twizy's a quadricycle.
Yeah. That's what
So
I was going to
why?
ask you. Did you de-restrict yours though? Didn't you?
No, the Twizy does 50 mile an hour out the box, out the gate. It does 50.
I didn't know that bit.
Doesn't get there very quick, but it does 50. When you mod them, when you stick a power box on like Kenneth Nielsen's power box, it dramatically increases the torque. It goes up like 50 newton meters more. So it's got like 50 out the gate, and then it goes up to like 100 with it, and then it'll do like 60. I mean, mine does 65, no problem. It slows down quite dramatic. Have you got any chutney with that cheese, man? That's bothering me.
I haven't actually.
You have?
I haven't actually. I don't actually. I'm not a fan of chutney myself. Just trying to get out. Why is this so awkward? Trying to get this cheese out of the wax.
Is that Applewood as well?
No, this is Leicester, vintage red Leicester.
Yeah, I just had some of that
the Applewood here
on my dinner.
Here, look, I bought 2 knives up. If you want to come round, the offer's there.
Like, I mean, you can keep talking, and I'll just pop round the corner.
Yeah, I don't mind.
But yeah,
I did tell my mum that you might come round, and just to send you up.
Just send me in. Send me out. Get a power V box for an amp. Yeah, I mean, do you know Kenneth, who does the power boxes for the Twizy? He should probably be looking at this if he isn't already, because
I'd be very surprised if he isn't. You're always looking at new bits and pieces, aren't you?
yeah.
I'm looking at what Canon's doing very closely to the R line, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, I mean cameras. I haven't looked at cameras for a little while. Actually, I've been kind of off of that since I stopped using main actually physical big DSLRs and sensorless cameras for YouTube. I just use my phone most of the time now for
What's your what are you daily driving now? You got the S22 still, or did you go back to Sony?
S22, yeah.
Oh,
S22.
Okay. You had a Sony last time I asked.
Sony? What's that?
You had a Sony, didn't you? Sony phone.
No.
Oh, is it the camera I'm getting confused for?
Yeah, I've got my my mirrorless, but
yeah, you got your A7, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't really use cameras really these days. I mean,
Right.
if I'm sort of doing close up stuff, product stuff, and things like that. But
right, so let's get to one of our. I think it's of 3 subjects that I managed to get down on paper at sort of 8 o'clock today. So we're going to talk about some energy density.
Yeah,
this is quite a big topic.
Yeah.
So for anyone aware, energy density is something like, so you've got like a litre of petrol or a litre of diesel. It's how much energy you can get out of that diesel or petrol without losses or anything. So you're thinking you've got 100% efficiency, which no matter what you do, unless you're probably using diesel for heating, you're never going to get it.
No.
Is that,
but you've got got 2 sides to the coin. You've got power density and you've got energy density with all fuel types, really. And obviously fuel burning something, you know, you need less of it basically to as a mass to produce. Basically, you know, fuel is a lot lighter than batteries for sort of storing energy.
Hence why we've got no battery planes, no commercial battery planes at the moment.
And for creating heat as well, you can't really beat just burning stuff.
Yeah, so like there is a lot. I've seen a lot of people. I don't know if they've done it as a joke or they're actually being serious. But they've actually fitted a caravan diesel heater to their house.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that compares to
Like, if you could get your hands,
gas.
I know it's not. I don't know how difficult it is now because it changed at the start of the year. If you get your hands on red diesel, which I feel like in a home setting, I think you can do it. Like red diesel, you can't use it for. So my work for a house builder. I think I've said that before. We can't use red diesel now
No, you
in
can't. They've changed that rule, haven't they?
in our machines. We can't use it in our generators. We've got to go to white. Now the difference between red and white diesel is the tax. So red diesel's for the farmers, so they can put it in their tractors, they can put it in their farm vehicles, and they're not taxed as hard, which obviously they get a saving, which is great for farmers. But there was a lot of abuse, so you can run it. I'm not a master criminal or anything, but you can run red diesel through cat litter to make it white. Now I suspect there's a second.
They get out some cat sand and stick it on the.
Put it in a pipe. I've seen a video on YouTube how to do it. I haven't done it. I drive a petrol, so you know, if H&M Revenue wants to come after me, feel free. There's no criminal. There's no crime here.
Yeah,
might be a bit of a different chase than Ofcom, eh, Andy?
Yeah, maybe. Got to watch out for that Ringway Manchester with his
book.
Yeah, and his dodgy suit. Let's see if he's still here, because if he's still here, then he should be actually on here. He's got no excuse. So that's the thing, isn't it? It's about energy density of fuel is just obviously so much greater than shoving it in.
Yeah, anything else.
Battery.
I think jet isn't. I'm not too familiar with. We should have done a bit more research for this. Like I say, it were prepped, but I don't know what energy density would you expect jet fuel to have.
Well, it's got to be higher, hasn't it? It's got to be higher than.
It burns exactly the same. It burns exactly the same as diesel, so you need compression, not a spark.
I wouldn't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
Up on jet fuel, but I should imagine it's pretty potent.
Yeah. You do get something. You get what was it called? You get like E100. Oh no, I can't remember it now. So I was watching a video about the Goodyear blimp, and they actually make petrol into a gas.
Right.
And then they use that.
Do they?
But I can't remember. It's like E100. Like it's like the rating of it is like 115 octane. So it's like ridiculously. Now, it comes on to another question as well. How long do you reckon, research-wise, we will need to do as a human race to make batteries, like for this weight, the same as like, so you say you got a 10 kilo battery, which is typical for an e-bike, or that battery to output the same power as 10 kilos of petrol?
It's
how long do you reckon?
It's a way off, and it's the stability of it as well. The thing is, obviously the stuff that we're using, that we're using drones and like, model aircraft, so things like that, as always, lithium polymer batteries have always been just a lot higher energy density, and they're obviously lighter. But the problem is they're not as stable, and you don't get the cycle life. So there's this sort of trade-off where things become inherently more dangerous. But then that's the same with liquid fuel as well. So I think it's going to be a long time. Ian Mangum, 30 at least. Yeah, I don't doubt that. I think it probably could be. I don't know. Maybe a bit sooner, because you've got solid state around the corner. But it's just that. I mean, you look at what's happened with CPUs in the last sort of 20 years. It's just completely different, isn't it? like
Yeah,
now.
20 years ago, we were on what, 2 cores, no hyperthreading.
Yeah,
You know,
and the you know what we on nanometer size now? It's absolutely
I did see
it's
Billy
nothing.
know, mate. Thorium batteries would last a long time and have a high
Mm.
energy output. Just don't crash with one, or take it to a hammer. Can you imagine Andy with one of those thorium batteries? Yeah, I'll put it on a charger. Yeah, it'll be fine.
I haven't blown anything up for a long time. The last time I blew something up was on purpose. But yeah, no, this batteries, like I've said this before, they
Yeah.
scare the life out of me.
Yeah,
Really do.
lipos do. I'm glad I don't own anything with a lipo battery in.
None of my lipos are in here. None of
Are
my
they in
lipos are in the
safe
house.
in the
I
garden? Yeah,
know
or
how bad things can be.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Um. Well, sort of since we're talking about sort of fossil fuels and stuff, obviously hydrogen plays a part in this whole energy density situation. Now,
mm,
I was on the impression that I'd done about 2 minutes of research, and the comments might be able to help with this. I thought hydrogen wasn't as dense. Now, it is and it isn't. So it's 3 times the amount of petrol.
is
But
it?
yeah, it is. From what I could read.
Mm,
Now, the only downside is using a fuel cell is there's a lot of losses.
mm. Converting it,
Yes.
just getting the energy out.
Yes. Hydrogen. Let me get this back up as well, just to refresh my mind.
Have a look.
Well, I know for a fact there's a lot of losses when you're making it, so you're losing about 35%.
Mm.
Then
This is
if there's
where
another,
it always goes wrong, isn't it?
yeah,
It's the conversion of it.
it is a bit difficult to make hydrogen as well without using sort of power that we could be using elsewhere as well. I think that's the other thing. You
Yeah,
know,
if you're using extra electricity to do it as
yeah,
well.
as you all know, the grid is coming under stress at the moment, and we may pay that price for the stress. I know Andy's been sort of charging up his battery banks non-stop. He hasn't managed to get all of them charged yet, but I'm sure by the time we have the power cuts, he'll have them all charged.
Still got quite a lot. Still got.
Yeah, I've already got the 1 kilometre extension lead. As soon as power goes down, I'm coming around and plugging in, then running it all the way to my
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
So hydrogen
I
energy
mean,
dense.
this is a good thing. I mean,
Mm.
I've got quite a few batteries, so it's
You do need to lend me one of those at some point.
yeah. If there's ever any problem, then
Mm.
whenever there's a power cut, I'll get excited because I think I'm just like, right, that's good, and then
Yeah.
it comes back on
By the
again.
time you
I'm
get
like,
it all set up, power comes on.
yeah.
Right, so I've got it up here. Diesel has an energy density of 45.5 megajoules per kilo, slightly lower than gasoline, which is petrol, and I'm guessing
Mm,
that's why you pay more at the pumps for diesel.
mm.
So petrol has an energy density of 45.8 megajoules. Now, I don't know if that's I know gasoline, and this is a .org website. Um, they the gasoline in America is of very, very poor quality compared to over here. So
Mm.
they're on I think their octane levels around 80. So that's why
Yeah.
they've always got that's why they've always got their 8.6 litre V8 that only does 500 brake horsepower.
Mm.
Um, Now it says here in electrical terms, the energy density of hydrogen is equal to 33.6 kilowatts of
It's
usable
quite
energy
low.
per kilo.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know what the Jackery does or anything like that. Have you, do you
Say
know
that
that?
again.
So the energy density of hydrogen is 33.6 kilowatt hours per kilo.
33.6 kilowatt hours per
Yeah.
kilo.
Yeah.
Blimey, it's a lot. That's a lot more than batteries. Way more
Yeah.
than batteries. Um, I mean, what off the top of my head, probably 1 kilowatt hour of batteries is going to be about a kilo. I don't know. It depends what
Yeah.
cells you use, doesn't it? Of course, but
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah. It all depends what sort of cells you use.
it's
Or, I mean,
it's low, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
batteries are low. I mean,
um,
500 watt hour in a Jackery thing. That's
mm,
500 watt hours. That's half a kilowatt hour in
yeah,
say. Look, I've even got one just underneath
yeah,
like
and
that.
that's not a light unit, is it either?
No, but then it's got all the gubbins. It's got the electronics in it as well.
Yeah,
So
you've got a big inverter in there as well. Is that pure sine wave? Do you know, or is that
yeah, yeah.
modified? Yeah.
Everything is
Um,
these days.
so Dave Bliss has just said that JCB is modifying hydrogen for sort of combustion engines.
Yeah, that's
So
useful.
I don't know if I mentioned it to you or not, but Honda, I think it's Honda, have a modified rotary,
Oh yeah.
and this thing I might see if I can find that and put it in the chat. It
Modified
sounds
rotary, what, running on
yeah,
hydrogen.
yes.
Oh,
So hydrogen may save the rotary. I am so happy about this.
yeah, that'd be cool,
Like
wouldn't it?
the day they sort out all the so if we can get hydrogen from Esso down the road, I will happily buy a
Get
rotary
a
hydrogen.
rotary, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
take the cats off it, and I'm eco-friendly.
I bet
So,
they'll
mate, no, it wouldn't even need any cats, would it?
no,
No,
not
because
really, no,
you
because
only get water vapor, don't you?
yeah, I'm not sure what else you get, but it's
It's
not
no,
as bad as
it's
you don't
literally
need.
water
You don't
vapor.
need a cat. You'd probably ruin
Uh,
a cat if you did have one. Um, but I bet that's going to spit some flames out the back.
oh, mate, I'll make it spit flames out the back.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So this website, I think I will put it. I'm going to put it in the chat actually because it's quite interesting read. I'm guessing there's a few people. I'm
Stick
not
it on the
any.
Discord.
Yeah, I'm sticking it on the chat. I'm
Oh, and
Fighters
just on the
channel
YouTube.
on the chat. I'm not no moderator or anything. It is Andy's channel. I'm just nobody.
We
So
can. There's got. I think there is a way. There's a way of doing it. You can because this setup is the same for
um,
massive channels as well, isn't it? So
so yeah. So
multiple
did you
people
also
managing things.
know as well? I found this extremely interesting. Did you
Hmm.
know about the different colors of hydrogen?
No,
It's how you make it. Let
really.
me get this back up because I'm as we've described. So there's the hydrogen spectrum. So I want you to see if you can guess how this hydrogen's made. So green hydrogen, that's quite an easy one.
I have trees.
That is down the list actually. So how would you expect green hydrogen to be made?
No idea.
So it's currently made from just wind
Grass.
energy. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
physically.
No, no, no. It's not physically green. It's not physically coloured. It's hydrogen is a colourless gas.
Got some
Um, yeah,
green
cactus.
green hydrogen.
How would you say blue hydrogen is made?
I don't know.
You, you've
Electric.
got you've got an electric hob, haven't you? So you wouldn't know.
Hob, no gas.
Blue hydrogen is made from natural gas, and obviously, as we know, natural gas burns with a blue flame.
Okay. You've been
That's
doing your
why that
research, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. So we've got this one's quite easy. So we got black or brown hydrogen.
Black and brown.
Yes. So this would be mainly made in China.
Black.
Yeah.
Mm,
How would you suggest that's made?
no idea.
So that's with coal.
Coal.
We'll skip through these as well quickly. We've got pink hydrogen, which is made
Candy
through
floss.
candy phosphate makes hydrogen. So we've got pink hydrogen generated through electrolysis by nuclear
Electrolysis.
energy. Yeah, nuclear
Okay.
energy.
Yeah.
You've got turquoise hydrogen, which is methane. Use methane to produce hydrogen and solid carbon.
Mm,
So they can pick out the carbon from the air and use that. Yellow
that's cool.
hydrogen. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
that's a whole subject in its own mind, isn't it? Carbon
Yeah.
capture and all that sort of stuff. So we've got yellow hydrogen, which is made through solar power. Obviously, the sun has a yellow tinge to it.
Now I see. Yeah.
White hydrogen, which is made through natural geographic. So if through fracking and stuff like that, they can normally get hydrogen.
Hmm.
They
Interesting.
haven't got a color as well. At some point, we will probably need to mine it from space, I suspect.
Wow.
Now, that's easier said than done. I think that's probably not in our lifetimes either.
Hmm.
But if we are using hydrogen, if hydrogen's the future, like it starts ending up in, or saying that, I think personally, I think future is not a fusion reactor where they recreate the sun. I
Yeah.
personally think that's the way to go, but there's obviously a lot of hurdles and it's a long way off.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's interesting stuff.
Yes. Um, I think we've spoken of hydrogen a lot. My next subject and my last subject is the old Andy Kirby music.
Oh yeah.
Mm. So, as you know, I'm a lover of Rise myself personally. Normally have that in the car when I'm stuck on the M25.
Nice. Nice.
Um,
That's quite an old one, that one.
yeah, it's such a good song though. It's so 90s. It's
Yeah.
so like my sort of style, you know.
Most of the stuff ends up sounding like that, just without. And I don't try to make it like that. It's just
Mm.
if I make something, it ends up sounding
Mm.
dated.
Yeah,
It's because
it's
when
not.
I did a lot of my
Mm.
stuff, I think it's just when you start, you kind of
Yeah,
have a sound, don't you? And it
it's not.
kind of
It's not.
comes through.
It's not dated. It's retro, Andy.
Retro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
retro's cool now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's cool. There's quite a
Yeah,
few. There's quite a few tracks to add
yeah.
to
Mm.
Spotify as well, and all those other streaming
He's
platforms.
see, he's slipping in the link there, slipping in the
Slipping in the
old
link.
promo. Have you got anything coming out at all, or?
um, the last, well, no, I haven't got anything. I've got a couple of things like sort of stockpiled that I didn't know whether I was going to release or not. They were more trance things. I did have a bit of an experiment releasing stuff into like
Mm.
like the
Yeah,
pure
you had your
dance
own
music scene. It's
label.
tough though. It's
Yeah,
tough to get any
100%.
traction. Very,
Yeah,
very
it is
difficult.
very. I've got a friend who I'm going to shout out as well because he
Mm.
asked me to. He's very good. Chalker's music. He's on Spotify.
Ah,
I will send you him as well because he's very good.
cool.
Um,
Yeah.
he's very. Your styles are very very similar actually.
Really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. He
I
makes
think
a lot of.
it's quite regional. That the sound is probably
Oh,
from around
100%.
this kind of
Yeah,
area, like so it probably
yeah.
does kind
You
of
go to
sounds.
Ringways. You go
You
where
have a
to
sound.
Ringways from, and it will sound completely different.
Yeah, they're more into like bounce and stuff like that, aren't they?
Yeah, and they got that. Is it Gabba as well? Is that
Wigan,
up there?
Wigan Pier.
Yeah. I feel like
But
Ringways. I feel
actually,
like. Go on.
I will shout one of my mates out actually as well. I recently made contact with an old friend who lives in Sweden, and he's doing some amazing rendering, like rendered animations. So we're going to do something. It reminds me, I need to email him actually. We're going to do something with one of my trance tunes, and he's going to create like a rendered animation. They're so amazing. I don't know
Have
how
you
you begin to do that, but it's clever.
have you ever seen the
So shout
like
out to
you
Jokke Goranson.
have you ever seen the when you get I can't think of what it's spectrograph where you've got the
Oh
lines
yeah,
where you see the bass and that sort of stuff. Have you ever seen like when they make the animations for that
no,
on in the music?
no.
Oh, I'm gonna have to send you that actually because it's so insane. Like
Always,
they get like pictures of mushrooms, just pure sound.
hmm,
I know Techmoan done a thing on it a few years back, and it's
okay.
actually so great to watch. And it's like the music is like insane as well. Like I'm not. You could quite easily have a few pints or smoke some wacky backy and watch that, and you'd be mesmerized.
Excellent.
Yeah,
So you've been out and about recently, haven't you?
yeah. I've been driving.
Done a bit of DJing and
Yeah, no. So
photography.
I've actually, so I did a wedding the other day, which was very good. They're very happy with the photos.
Good, good.
I'm DJing on Friday evening at the Blackbirds Hartford. If you want to come see me, get the plug in. Get the plug in. Blackbirds Hartford. I'll
Get
be
it
on
in.
about 10:30. We've got a Mean Streak, which is a
Nice.
AC/DC tribute, which they're very, very. I've watched them
Oh,
myself. They're
blimey.
very good. So, and if you're doing nothing, there is fireworks going off outside my window as well. Can you hear those?
Yeah, there was some at like 3 o'clock in the morning on bonfire night. It was quiet,
Oh,
and then all of a sudden, all the fireworks had died down, and then it just all went off. I don't know what was going on.
I'm,
I
I'm
just saw
not
this
a.
message actually. This in the chat. Phil Skirmer, love your radio stuff, and it got me into being a ham. That's so cool. I love that. That's really awesome. And got a foundation license and a ICOM 705.
I want to be in your shoes, Phil. Like I want to be
You can
Phil now.
do it. You can do
Yeah.
it. It's so good.
Well,
I'll tell you.
spend
Actually,
two
another
grand on
thing.
a
Go on. What?
spend two
Two
grand on
grand?
an icon.
No, it's not that. It's about 1,300. That's it. That's all you need. You literally just need that and a wonder loop, and then
Yeah.
all the other antennas that you can think of after that because you want to play around with stuff.
I do want a icon. Like I look at your videos and like I want it, and I'm gutted. I'm not gutted, but I'm glad Lewis has got one now as well.
He hasn't got one yet. He's getting
Hasn't
it.
he? Is
Yeah,
he?
that was
Is it on order or?
that was a loaned thing that he had. He did a video on, but he's getting one. He is getting one.
Are you gonna mod it for
Starquake
him
as well. I got my foundation. She's watching. That's amazing. I love it. I love it.
See, I want to get my foundation. I want to go for my intermediate.
Mm.
See if I can get more. More.
Yeah, I've been reading the intermediate book intermittently.
Will you go for your full straight after?
Probably. I mean, I should do.
Yeah. Do you see the power limits as well on the full?
Yeah, it's not 500
You can
watts,
run
isn't it?
400
It's not
watts.
as much as it is in the rest of the country, in the world there.
What band would you run 400 watts on though?
Mainly in like the HF bands, because you end up just turning yourself into a big broadcast station. You don't need that power.
No, 100% you don't.
But
the things you've done with 10 watts is unreal.
It's crazy. You don't need a lot of power. The things you can do with 1 watt is amazing. And 10 watts on on the Icon, see it in shot here, on the Icon 705. There's an amazing app which I'm going to talk about in a video soon. It's SDR Control. It's a complete remote control software for, I think it's only for the Mac and the iPad, but it's insane. It is absolutely insane. I use this setup to basically control my 705. So you can have, because it works over Wi-Fi, you have your 705, you can have it anywhere. You can have it like, somewhere really high, or you can put it miles away. You completely, it is so slick, like the way it works. It's amazing. And you can, when you turn the radio off and turn it back on again, you can put the radio into standby and it sort of wakes on WLAN. It's clever stuff.
Have you heard anything about your 905 yet, or is that still in there?
No, 905. I'm really looking at the comments as well. I'm interested in this. No, the 905. I don't know what's happening with that. I should imagine it's going to be.
It does look like.
Is it going to be before Christmas?
It does look like it's an insane bit of kit.
Yeah, it's mad, and you really do need an intermediate license or a full license to use all of the bands. If you want to, I mess around on 2.4 gig like ISM with Wi-Fi stuff, and you get a feel for how that works.
I did wonder when my Wi-Fi was playing up the other day.
No. But yeah, the funny thing is we can't use Foundation. We can't use 1.2 gig. So like 13 centimeters, we can't use that, and we can't use 2.4.
What's the limits with 5 gig as well? 5.0, because that's Wi-Fi as well.
5.8. I mean, FPV stuff. All the cameras are on 5.8, but that's like kind of ISM. So the power's meant to be 25 milliwatts, but obviously all of the FPV stuff is like 1 watt now. But you got a fan there, Chalkers. Big up, Sir.
Yeah, that was I just mentioned. Told you about to get his music.
Evening, Tony. M6TZA. So yeah, just 905. I don't know what's happened with that. As of yet, I've been playing around more with.
I don't know if there's like a cheap Chinese version of the 705.
Yeah, there is. I got offered a the other day. which actually maybe I should do the review and get you started.
Yeah.
I think it's Alliance Alliance or Retivis TS2. It's like a
whatever it is.
Chinese version of a 705, basically.
20 quid in a Freddo. I'll slip you 20 quid in a Freddo for it.
That's your answer to everything, isn't it?
Yeah, 20 quid in a Freddo. I did ask for a house earlier, but the 20 quid in a Freddo didn't go down that well. We are out of subjects as me and Andy have been extremely busy this week.
That's all right. We can just talk about radio for the rest of it if you want.
Yeah, we could.
Seems like we got a bit of a radio crew going on in the comments.
I'm not sure where Rog has gone though.
He was out, so that's why he's not on the podcast tonight.
He was out, but he was messaging in the just an FYI, Rog is a nickname for Lewis.
See, it is. Steve Ellis, Q900 SDR transceiver. He's brilliant. If you're technically minded, this is the thing about the like the sort of Chinese stuff and the SDR stuff. Things that you can, that they work, but obviously, it's better if you kind of understand things first. I think the 705 is so bulletproof that it is just a great place to start. If you've got the money to do it, you've just got to do it. It's such a great radio. If I could only have one radio, it'd be the 705, hands down.
Oh, it does. If you want
it does 10.
Yeah.
In actual fact, what's that?
You do so much with it on the channel. You've used it for PMR 446, haven't you? When we were messing about with the
No, we're not allowed to do that.
When we were messing about with the we were only on half a watt. We were.
I mean, it's that silly rule you're not allowed to use uncertified gear on PMR 446. Even if you limit the bandwidth and you run it on low power and everything else, you're not supposed to do it. So
here comes the fun. Here comes the fun, please.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a moan. I got moaned at by Ofcom for doing that video, didn't I?
We both did.
We both did, and then I told you about 2 months later.
Yeah. Do you reckon Lewis has got the inside in Ofcom? Like he's got an inside, and he's got all the details of us two.
Probably
on this system. He's got all our like arrest warrants. I'm going to get a knock on my door tomorrow morning from Ofcom and the police.
It's crazy, isn't it? But anyway, absolutely, like the 705, it does so much stuff. And now we've obviously this bit of software that you can use the SDR. I can't even remember actually what it's called.
While we've got a break, I want to shout out Chalkaz again because I know he's on here now. Shouting out to Christina, Lewis, and Chloe, all my friends, and my girlfriend.
Okay.
Got to get the plugs in, haven't I?
Shout out. So, it's SDR Control. That's what it's called.
How much
SDR
is
Control.
5 now these days?
Actually, Lewis was saying he was going to buy one, and he couldn't because they were out of stock everywhere.
Chip shortage.
Chip shortage basically. So, FT100 good rig. Yeah, great rig if you're on a budget. And there are loads of non-SDR radios you could buy these days.
Apart from the mag loop, as you've said, what else would you say to tie your 705 up? Because it's quite a popular radio by the sounds of it.
What that I would have with? Yeah.
What would you say put onto it? Obviously, you're going to need different antennas for all the bands. Yeah.
Well, 90%, 80% you can do with the mag loop. The Wonder One's Wonder Loop will go from. It won't cover 80 meters. It will just about cover 40. If you're lucky and there's good, you've got good conditions, you might get a contact on 40, but it's probably unlikely. 20 up to all the way through CB, 10 bands, 10 meters, and then all the way up. I've had contacts on 6 meters, 50 megahertz.
Am I right? The 4 meters, you need the big long wire that's like 20 meters long.
The ICOM 705 won't do 4 meters. That's the only problem.
Oh, won't it? Okay, I didn't know that.
You can listen, but you can't transmit. Yeah. And that is even if you unblock if you take all the resistors and diodes off of the board, you can't do it. Chris G7VEO says you can use an amp and a tuner, with the 705. The 705 tuner is freaking amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Where is it?
You've definitely got one of those because I've seen it in the video. I do love the sound
Oh,
those relays make.
Yeah, they.
Yeah,
It's brilliant, isn't it?
it is a sound that makes hairs on the back of my head. Just
That's cool.
oh,
It's so nice. It's such a nicely like engineered bit of kit as well. Like
yeah.
it's brilliant, and it's got a
Like,
pole mount, so you can put a whip on it on the top. You can just screw the thing to a pole, clamp it to a pole, and then just have a whip on the top of it, and it tunes anything to anything. It's nuts.
it's
Don't know
a
how it
shame
does
you
it.
can't run an Ethernet cable to that tuner and then to your aerial, and then to your head.
That's how the 705 works,
Yeah.
and the 905 works.
905, yeah. It's a shame they didn't put that in the
Well, then you'd have to have
705.
an RF module separate. So,
Oh,
I mean,
really? Okay.
yeah, because the RF has got to come from
Mm.
directly from a radio circuit. So all you're doing, it's like a head unit, isn't it? Like a remote head unit somewhere else, and then the rest of the radio. That's good because if you have got a proper radio that's waterproof, like you can bolt that on the mastheads, and then you've got no coax loss because everything that's coming down the wire is just data controlling. So you've got no feeder loss, and feeder loss on UHF microwaves is nuts. I tried putting to sort of mess around with this. I tried putting my DJI goggles. I don't know if I did. Did I do a video about this? I tried putting my DJI goggles on the top of my pole, my mast, to see how far my DJI FPV system would go, and it goes quite a long way through trees and everything else. With the goggles on the top of the mast, line of sight, you can see miles around here, can't you? So it worked. It went mile, something like that. But the problem was, what I then wanted to do was then try and do that with coax. So I took all the antennas off and then had the feeder wires, because it's got 4 antennas, like diversity on it. I put the 4 antennas and mounted them on the pole, and then run 4 runs of LMR4 400 coax, 10 meters into here. Didn't work at all. So it shows you how much loss you get at those frequencies, and that's not bad coax. That's expensive coax.
Didn't you also do something similar with those decked phones you've been playing with as well?
Yeah, the deck stuff. That's amazing. I mean, that does.
Didn't you put something on the drone and try and fly it that way or something like that? Didn't you?
That didn't work. That didn't work on the drone. I don't know why.
You see, I had this idea ages ago to get a big balloon and just put it up 400 feet and see what we could get.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
by the sound of it,
Lewis has done that. He's done one of his really early videos. He had a crossband repeater on a drone. That's a great video.
Yeah.
But yeah, pardon me. It's
there was something a little while back I wanted to talk about, or we had no subjects. Do you know the first ever hack on a? I don't know if did I send this to you or not. I don't think I did. The first ever cyber hack. Let me get this up as well because it's quite interesting. Has been done by a drone.
Has it?
Yeah, I'm all serious. It was on a financial institute. Let me get this up because it was like $15,000 worth of kit as well. That they used to do it.
What did it do?
Drone hack. Yeah, drone hacks are finally here. So this is a video from. Let me see if they've got any. They've got the sources here. Yeah, so modified off-the-shelf drones have been found carrying wireless networks intrusion kit in a very unlikely place. The idea of using consumer-orientated drones for hacking has been explored over the past. Pretty much, I feel like every hack that can be done or is theoretically, has been done. There's people like me and you that all over the place. Like there's
what are you saying?
There's research. There's researchers all over the place, like doing this now. From my understanding, what they did was they flew a drone up, with a little Linux machine.
Yeah,
I think it was,
and an Alpha network card.
No, it was. I think it was a hack RF actually. Oh no! It was it was something like. No, screen with this. Sorry.
Always.
So pretty
always
much
have a hack RF close to hand.
So yeah, the companies. Yeah, so the hacking incident was discovered when the financial firm spotted unusual activity on its internal company page. So we've got one at our place where we put company news. We've got
Intranet.
yes. The company's security team responded and found the user's MAC address was gained. Partial access into a company network was also logged in at home from 7 miles away. So they've found the MAC address of this device is at home, but he's connected to the Wi-Fi at the corporate building. So there's something not right there at all.
So he's what has he just done? Like some sort of like
But there's been
ubiquity link to.
there's a man in the middle attack here.
Yeah.
So they've spoofed. What they've done is they've spoofed a Wi-Fi signal. So all Wi-Fi devices, I use that workaround here. If you've got two networks in two different places with the same SSID and the same password,
they won't.
They'll connect. Like the phone won't know any different to the
Doesn't
two different
it?
networks.
Does Apple not do something about that now? Because I thought you could
there's
literally
nothing
clone
to
it.
it.
So what's stopping you? You could on your phone. You could just
You
create
can
a
make the
personal
network.
hotspot
Yeah.
with that same SSID, and then you're going to grab all that traffic.
Yeah, and the same password as well. It's been a
Okay.
problem in coffee shops for years because you can make a network on your laptop.
Get
It's
everyone to
not as
connect to it.
bad. It's not as bad now because you've got HTTPS,
Yeah.
and there's most sort of there's a lot of VPNs out there, as you know, NordVPN, you know.
Yeah. You can spoof MAC addresses. Yeah.
So
The best one is it's just you create an SSID called free Wi-Fi and then just enjoy.
Yes. So that was a big thing back in the day when stuff wasn't encrypted.
Yeah.
But obviously that's now slowed down because you've got your private and you've got your public keys. So this is where it gets interesting. The team
War driving with a HackRF, that'd be a thing.
Yeah.
Billy no mates. Imagine if we had HackRFs back in the war driving days.
The team took traces to trace the Wi-Fi signal and used a fluke system, which is Wi-Fi. I think it's a Wi-Fi sort of thing. This led the team to the roof where a modified DJI Matt Rice.
Oh, mattress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got no idea. And a modified DJI Phantom, which I think is a very big.
It's
like,
big white, the big white one.
Yeah.
Early days.
Yeah. Okay. The Phantom drone was in fine condition and a modified Wi-Fi Pineapple device used for network penetration, pretty much very similar to the HackRF, I'm guessing. The Matt Rice drone was carrying a case that contained a Raspberry Pi, several batteries, a GBD mini laptop. Now that
That's the one I've got.
I remember watching the drone. That drone has got 8 kilo carrying capacity.
What one? The Matrix.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like it's for camera ship. GPD win.
Yeah. A 4G modem, another Wi-Fi device, and it had landed near the building's heating and ventilation system. Appeared to be damaged but still operational. During the investigation, they determined that the DJI Phantom drone had originally been used a few days prior to intercept workers' credentials and Wi-Fi. The data was later hard-coded into tools that was deployed with the mattress. I think the mattress is the device they're using.
The mattress. Flying mattress.
It's the drone. So it's a MATRIC, sorry. Yeah, according to the website that I'm not going to promote because they have ad block tools in place. The tools on the drone were to target the company's internal page in order to reach the internal devices using credentials stored there. The attack, he said, had limited success, and the third cyber attack, including the drone, he's seen over 2 years. So it must have been done.
It's a known thing.
Yeah. The attackers targeted limited access network. Yeah, so I don't know if you want to work out how much that was, but I reckon it's about $15,000 that they've had to put in this attack. And obviously, they have not worked.
Wonder what they're trying to do.
I'm guessing a financial institution.
Trying to get
You're trying to get the millions that they hold. It does
Trying
go
to
on
get
to
hold of it.
say as well. It does go on to say as well. Your new favorite thing that you want to buy.
Oh,
The
what the
uh, yeah. So this could
dolphin
term
thing?
long-term
Flipper.
problems. So there's further down the paired with the drone payload, getting smaller and more capable, e.g. a Flipper Zero kit, makes viable attack packages that are responsible to deploy. Now the only
Scary,
problem
isn't
I
it?
see, yeah, the only problem I see with using the Flipper is that you haven't got any 4G. So you've got to do, in my little head,
Why?
you've
Why do
got
you
in
want
my little
4G?
head. Well, you need a way to control it, don't you?
Um,
You could
yeah,
just
but
SSH
if
into it.
you're, yeah, I suppose so. I mean,
You'd need to you would need to control it some way or another. Obviously, you're going to be making changes as a hack changes.
hmm,
You're never going to have all your bases covered with just writing a script.
no,
You're
you're gonna
assuming a
need
lot
some,
there, aren't you?
gonna need some personal input to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, interesting, eh?
But
But
then again, if you don't have to use the 4G, there's no way they can track you back. But then again, how are you going to do it?
yeah, but the thing is, what you got to watch out for
Mm.
now. I'm not saying that what you've got to watch out for,
Have I got to
or
go get my?
what we've got to watch out for.
Have I got
Um,
to go back to for a hat? Yeah.
so long as you're using RF, like there's ways of tracking it, and I wouldn't put a DJI drone up. Like, I mean, not saying I would do anything, but if you're going to do anything, questionable, wouldn't use a DJI drone because
Mm.
you've got aeroscope out there and it
Yeah.
can plot and tell
Yeah.
that it
Do you want to
knows
talk
where all
about
the
that some
drones
more
are.
actually? Because I was quite surprised. Like, my face dropped when you telling me about that.
Yeah, scary. I
Yeah.
mean, basically, the higher I've done a video about it, but the higher the drone is, obviously, the more, um, the further the signal is going to travel. So, Aeroscope is basically a package that is kind of used in anti-drone defense things. That's
Mm.
what it's designed for
But
like airports and stuff.
would you have that at like a sporting event, say the World Cup or something? Would someone be sitting in the sort of tech department with one of those on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, it depends how sensitive the area is, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
that they don't want
Well,
drones flying over the
that
top
must
of it.
be an extremely sensitive zone because they don't want people making their own feeds, do they?
No, I mean, there's the financial side, and then there's actually like
Mm.
safety, isn't there, and
Mm.
stuff. So they're obviously gonna. I mean, they use it. I know they use this. They use this at Stansted Airport because they
Mm.
came round as soon as Steve put a
Mm.
flipping Mavic in the air. As soon as he took off my DJI Mavic,
Yeah.
10 minutes
You got knocked
later,
on the door.
the knock on the door. So,
Was that
and that's
before or
that's
after the?
Aeroscope.
Was that
What was
before
that?
or the after the arrest?
Yeah, that was before.
Oh,
Um,
okay. You didn't go white as a ghost or anything. You didn't
I was like,
Did you?
what? How?
Did you
And
go?
they
Did you
told me
go?
the serial number. They said, look, open the battery door, and we'll tell you the serial number of the drone. So
Mm.
I don't trust it, and I don't know if that's like I don't know. I don't think that DJI FPV stuff shows up on that, but I think it's mainly
Mm.
consumer drones that just get pulled up on that.
Shall we
Yeah.
Should we
Okay.
go to some questions as well? I feel like we're
Yeah.
all
Go
done
to
with our
some
subject.
questions. Yeah, the Flipper Zeros are amazing at
Mm.
Starquakes.
You want to buy
This
one
is
as soon as they come back in stock. You want one, don't you?
yeah. I like the thing you can do to the
Oh,
Teslas. Open all the doors on the
yeah.
Teslas.
Of course, you're only going to do it to your own
Yeah,
equipment that
of
you've got
course.
permission for.
Um, it's getting crazy what you can do though. It
Oh,
is getting kind of
100%,
crazy.
100. Well, there's a lot of like open doors these days,
Well, these things will help ultimately
Mm.
security, won't it? Because if
Yes.
the more these things are known about, people have been doing this stuff for years. Like that whole thing where you go to your car and you can't open the door because your
Mm.
key fob's on 430 whatever megahertz,
Um,
and someone with a ham radio is sitting there like talking on a
now,
talking
well,
on a simplex channel, which
you
is
must,
like a few
yeah.
megahertz away, and then that person can't open their car door because of that.
Were you around in the days of like blue boxes and black boxes and all that sort of stuff with your phones, or was that
Oh,
not?
blimey.
Yeah.
No,
Or was that before your time?
Yeah, was that like actual fixed line stuff, wasn't
Mm.
it? Yeah, there was a big thing, wasn't there, in America where they used to do that,
Mm.
free calls and stuff.
Mm.
I remember. Does anyone remember bluejacking, where you used to just hijack people's? You could pair and send.
Oh
You used to be
yes.
able to send a message
Mm.
by Bluetooth to
Yeah, yeah,
somebody.
yeah. I remember there was an app on a Sony Ericsson's
Yeah,
where you could, like, break into people's devices.
that's it. Yeah,
And you can make their phone ring.
phone freaking. That's it. Yeah, Steve
Yeah, phone
Ellison.
frequency. You could there was like you could make. So I think it was the comments might be able to help this. There's a certain frequency, so you could dial a number, play that frequency
Yeah.
down the sort of a handset, and
Mm,
what it would do is it would say to the like the exchange that it's a free call,
that's
and
it.
you could
Yeah.
call like America and stuff like that for
Yeah.
free.
Clever.
Like, do you know?
Yeah.
I was speaking with someone the other day, who's sort of in the phone industry, and he's saying the whole of the Hartford exchange, and this is happening right now. I don't know if you've had the letter yet or not
No.
about it. We have. So they're getting rid of all the old analog lines.
Right.
Yeah. So they're ripping them all out. Yeah. That your phone's going to come through the internet now. But the whole of the Hartford phone exchange, which is quite a substantial building, isn't it? It's like 5, 6. Do you know where it is?
Is
It's
it
the
near
red
County Hill?
building.
Is it part of?
Yeah, it's the red building opposite the
Mm.
fire station.
Oh, yeah.
If you look in the right spot as well, you can actually see inside the racks if they've
Can
got the
you?
lights on. Yeah,
Oh, what?
now
Flickering
that
away.
that whole building. No, you can see the fluorescence they've got. That whole building can be done on 2 U's now,
Wow.
like one server.
Just over the
That
internet.
no, the whole like exchange system. So all the switching.
Wow.
How
On a
crazy is that?
two-unit rack.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's about the floor space. A BT Exchange takes half the buildings. A VoIP replaces all that with a 4U. Yeah, how crazy is that, eh?
It's mad. That is
Mm.
mad,
I
isn't it?
just saw Grey Rock. The phone freaking is where Kevin got a Captain Crunch. They called him Captain Crunch because one of the whistles in the breakfast cereal emitted that tone. So you could just blow that whistle like kids,
Yeah,
like what 50p. You could probably 3D print it now. Like, how crazy is
you
that? But
probably
apparently,
could.
oh, I know, no, that would hang up a call because what he would do is he'd go to the airport where people are like on the phones, and they would he'd blow the whistle and they'd all hang up. And you
Mm.
got to remember this is back in the day of when it was like you're probably using a phone card to make a call. You got to dial in like loads of numbers to then
Yeah.
get to your prepaid card. So if you hung up that call, like you've got to go through the houses all over again. Oh
Mm.
man, I'm so glad. I am so glad modern technology took over.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's kind of mad. That's still sinking in that everything is obviously
I'll
going
tell you what,
VoIP.
I'll tell you what, we'll go next week. We'll talk more about like the phone freaking because that's a good subject.
Yeah. I remember. I don't remember that much about that. It's a long
Do you
time ago,
remember? You
but
must remember that. I remember the dial-up sound
yeah, yeah. It's
because you must have been in business.
don't know what year was this then? EMP device.
Yes, I am waiting
Half
for
a
that.
gas dot.
Like I say, I think he keeps messing. If he messes with 2.4, that's my Wi-Fi gone. That's the whole of Hartford's Wi-Fi gone.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. No,
Mm,
but just that whole kind of internet reliability is kind of
yeah.
worrying me at the moment. I think,
Really, even though see, I've got quite a stable line into my house.
yeah, but it'll go if
Mm.
but
Oh,
if it all kicks if
mm,
the shite hits the fan, that'll
yeah.
be it. And then now we'll have no physical phone line either. So radio
Yeah,
is going to be the one. Radio is going to be
I've got my Bofang. You know, you don't need a license in emergencies, eh?
exactly. I mean,
Mm.
I was watching quite an interesting video. I think it's ham radio. It's not ham radio. I can't remember what it is. One of the channels, and it's talking about emergency preparedness stuff. It's kind of a bit preppery, but you know, it's interesting to have like a bit of a plan. And as I was saying, like in that last video that I did, sort of, having people use radios more, people around you in your little group and stuff like that.
Have you got a plan if the modern life decides to fail?
System goes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You need to be able to, if you can communicate, then it's a good thing to do, isn't it?
I'm a bit of a sort of as you know, what's the word where you don't like talking to people and you don't want to know? Like you're quite like to go down to your basement and stay there.
What, like it? I don't know.
My dad also has a lot of whiskey that he's saving for his retirement. I feel like if modern day sort of starts collapsing,
the apocalypse came, you just drink some whiskey. I've got some crazy stuff that Michael gave me. That'll keep me entertained for a couple of days.
I could probably, even if the world's ending like nuclear war, I could probably still walk to yours fine and not have enough. Probably be all right on my dose. So we'll just sit and drink whiskey.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Couldn't make a business case for Starlink. Yeah, and I looked at that. I looked at Starlink as well. Just
it was going to be a subject we brought up 2 weeks ago because that is literally an Andy and like Lewis, like that is a that is like your two's wet dream come together, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean the upload speed's not great though, is it? It's not as good as.
I'm sure Daddy Elon will when he gets more satellites. There's satellites that all he's struggling to do at the moment, get them up in the air.
Yeah,
I think that's what his issue is, but he's trying, isn't he?
He's certainly doing that in a lot of different ways.
As soon as he gets the gigabit up down, I'll buy it all day long.
Yeah, it'll be useful then.
I'm sure you'll probably buy it as. What speed are you? What speed are you on?
That's nothing special. It's not even. Yeah. I don't even think it's 100.
Can I share my speed test I got the other day on 5G?
Yeah, let you have that.
Yeah. So I was in St Albans the other week. And I don't know if it's going to come out on the camera very clear or not because I'm in manual mode. So it wasn't.
You can see it's 4 figures.
Yeah. So on 5G.
That's not 3, 14, is it?
Yeah, it is.
It's not 3 gigabits, is it?
No. It's 1,073 down.
Mad, isn't it?
59.5 up. So during that speed test, which is what? How long would you say a speed test lasts? A good minute?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. It downloaded 1,563.4 megabytes. That's nuts, isn't it?
Can you imagine? That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did have. What was the ping? Ping was 42 on that.
42.
But that's still an insane connection.
That's nothing. I was getting 1,500 milliseconds doing my Motorola DMR network.
I keep saying we should set up something like. I don't want to go crazy. Can we do anything with over RF?
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I'm talking about actually something usable, like making an SMB share and setting up a file or something.
The trouble is bandwidth. Like, if you want fast speeds, then you've got to use. You'd be in the gigahertz, and you'd be using your kind of Wi-Fi, basically.
Yeah. We need to try and push Wi-Fi, see what we can get on a wireless network.
Yeah.
Just get something off the shelf and see what we can push out of it. I think that's a great video.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we worked out we're fairly line of sight, but you'll have to be on the top of your chimney, so it's got to clear all the roofs.
So Starquakey said Laura. I think you looked at that, didn't you?
Laura.
Yeah. Was that something or helium? Something you told me we should look into. But
Laura's interesting. It is interesting. But yeah, it's. I don't know. I looked at getting some different sort of transmitters. You can get them on 868 megahertz, or you can get them on 433. The range isn't crazy, but it is pretty good. It's quite a robust mode. It's not massively fast. like
We
data
don't need to be
throughput wise.
fast. It's just a trial sort of we could send. Like it'd be great to send the podcast notes that I don't write to yourself over radio. That would be quite a good video.
Yeah, I think in order to do, well, basically what I'm trying to do at the moment, you can see what I'm trying to do. I've got on this GPD Mini here, this GPD Win, as my hacker falls up on the floor. On here, I've got an email client, an email server running, and then this connects to a Motorola DMR radio by Bluetooth. And then basically you'll have the same the other end. So you could just plug a Windows 10 computer into. You've got one of these, haven't you, Charles? You've got one of the SL4000s. So you've got one of those.
Is yours up?
Basically, yeah, it is. We won't make the trip. That's what I'm saying. It's the range. It's difficult. Even on 400, even on UHF, it's not enough to get through all these houses between me and you. But yeah, basically, plug that with a USB cable into your Windows 10. Open up Thunderbird mail client, and you can send an email over radio, and you can have one mailbox with all the information going backwards and forwards, and it's supposed to work really well. So we can try that.
Yeah, when you were messing about with that data the other day, you had that other radio on. I did put my Bofang on, but I didn't get very lit. I got very little, didn't I? I got a few clicks.
Actually, do a little test here. Look. What channel?
I've just been trying actually.
Put it on the business frequency, like channel 1.
Oh, I don't have my Bofang to hand, unfortunately.
No, that digital radio there.
Yeah. Go on, give it a go.
Was it Kirby Net channel 1?
Yeah.
Right, Charles. Copy.
No, nothing.
Can you hear it?
No, nothing. Have you got another radio on there as well?
I must have, yeah, because it's coming out. It's echoing. Yeah, Charles.
Yeah, mine's moaning as well.
This radio's knocked out all my USB hub on the thing. So why? That's strange that it's not going that far. Let's just try and hold this up in the air and see. Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone else watched Andy's video. During the video, we were actually further away, but Andy was it's just all location, isn't it?
You're definitely on channel 1.
Yeah, channel 1.
Let's try opening the window.
Oh! I got something.
Yeah.
Talk.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I had something, but now it's gone.
Wait. Hear me now. Hold it up in the air.
Yeah.
Does it come through?
No, I don't think we got anything. Should we
the
go
only way you can do it, you're not allowed to do this, but I could connect that to my big antenna, and then you'd hear me, no problem, but you can't do that.
Yeah. No.
You can't do that on business, because you can't do base station to base station.
Can we? We can't do that at all.
No. But yeah.
Have we got any questions? They don't have to be radio related this week. We can have e-bike questions as well. Any questions about Andy's personal life? You know, he does live on the internet.
Yeah, it's that radio's knocked my hub out, so my mouse don't work anymore on that machine.
Oh, nice. I've
really
seen the
badly shielded.
I have seen the screensaver a few times actually.
Yeah, on here. Yeah. So
there's something about Yagi on the chat.
Let's make a dipole for that. Yeah, that would be good. Climb up on the roof. Setting up files. Setting up for files is a really good idea for preppers. Yeah, it's cool. It's a good idea. Having any way of, you know, being able to send a bit of data backwards and forwards on plug and play gear is really cool.
Mark, all I'm going to say is that they don't make stuff how they used to.
What was that?
He's well out of touch with modern radios.
Oh, yeah.
Moon bounce. Can you actually do a moon bounce?
You can.
Mm-hmm.
Never done it, but you can.
SME. Any ideas, Andy? I've got no idea.
EME.
Yeah.
What's that?
No idea. This looks like it's radio equipment. Oh, Earth to Moon. Earth communication, that stands for.
Oh, yeah. Make some dipoles out, but speaker one, some coax for you, chef. Yeah, dipole is just like the
Uh,
solution to all problems. Radio.
yeah, Andy has actually taught me how to make a aerial as well. So you made me a little I think it's for PMR 446, a
Yeah,
little
I think little
dipole.
dipole. Yeah,
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 I've still
that's
got
right.
that.
Ah, I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, I've still got.
Yeah,
It's only a bit of wire and a doorbell, isn't it? Or something like that. Doorbell. Like,
yeah, just it can be anything.
yeah.
Any wire, any wire works.
I might poke Andy if I do ever get a CB. I will be poking Andy to make me a dipole for the loft.
Flipping out. They get quite big in the low frequencies.
Yeah, that's fine. It's going in the loft. No one will see it.
I had a fan dipole in my old loft for pretty much every frequency, right the way from. I think I didn't go down as low as 80 because that just gets pretty crazy having 80
Did you
meter.
have a Did you have a little switch box as well, so you could change where
You
you
don't
were?
need a switch. What's mad with a
Yeah.
fan dipole is basically RF travels the path of least resistance. So where it resonates, wherever it resonates, it will use that element. So you can have
Was that?
you can have a load of wire
Mm,
like dotted out,
mm,
load of different dipoles on one piece of coax, and then it will find its way and resonate on the one that's fascinating. That I've always found that kind of weird.
Yeah, you got to remember the only thing above my head right now is a server that weighs about 50 kilos. So as long as the CB doesn't interfere with as long as the aerial doesn't interfere with my server, which is quite shielded. All the drives are quite shielded. All the wiring in my house is shielded as well.
It's probably more likely going to be the other way around. Like you're just going to
Yeah.
get a load of noise on the radio from that. Might be some of your problem with not
Yeah.
picking up stuff, but you seem to be picking up or just schools.
I've got a
PMR 446 the other day. Isn't it?
I've got I think the wiring in this house is all shielded as well. I know we use 12.5.
Yeah, what's this? Micro
do a
relay
mesh.
nodes.
You could do a mesh
Slightly bigger.
network. I already have a mesh network in my house.
What Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi. So there's a
Yeah.
repeater under that bed. I keep meaning to show you this. I'll be back in a second, Andy. Who wants to see Andy do a review on this thing?
Oh, is that big speaker?
That is a Pi Box JBL thing. This thing shakes my house when I turn it up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Keep pushing Andy to do a review on it.
It's about ISM mesh.
sorry.
Mesh that.
Andy, when do you want me to bring that speaker around for that review?
Yeah, we've got to do it. Mesh
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Mesh
Yeah,
Wi-Fi.
I've seen some tests with like this kind of like the ubiquity stuff because that's like it's not Wi-Fi protocol, is it? It's not like doing the same. It's like its own special thing.
The ubiquity stuff is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's good.
As much as I would love ubiquity stuff, I can't afford it.
Yeah, you still got to get the height.
Like the mesh. Yeah,
I'd
no, the
happily do a video about that and just try.
what if they send us both? If they send us both ubiquity stuff, yeah. I'll take the Dream Machine. What else? What else can I? I literally want a full rack of ubiquity stuff. So ubiquity, if you're watching, you know.
Yeah. I'm
missed
not
out
sure
as well.
they're going to be.
Have you seen the what is it? What's the HP stuff that they're pushing now, which is all cloud based?
Okay.
They've got a big. Or is it Cisco? Yeah, it is Cisco. Sorry, it's Meraki. It's called, but it's all cloud based. It's all cloud based. So you're paying like you buy the unit for like 400 quid, but then you're paying like £200 for the licenses.
Oh
It is
wow,
literally enterprise stuff though.
that's crazy. I was talking to Micro. I think he's probably still watching, but I said to him, "Have you got any Windows Mobile 5 PDAs, like old ones? Do you remember that? Were you too
Oh
young for that,
my
aren't you?"
god. No, 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 no. I had, what was it? The Palm Pilot, I think it was.
Palm Pilot. Let me show you this.
Yeah. While Andy's just ran away. So my Palm Pilot, it was back in the day. It had a your choices were either Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. I think it was like 130 quid. I think it was. But the thing about it was it had a great headphone amp, so you could really crank up the like the volume on it. Where's he gone? What do you think I am, professional or something?
Look at this. I nabbed this off of eBay
Yeah.
this week.
Is that the Windows one,
Yeah.
or is that the BlackBerry?
Fujitsu. It's Fujitsu. So it's Pocket Luke's. I never
Yeah.
had one of these first time round, but look how mint that is. It's
That is,
absolutely.
Do you remember like Windows XP Mobile? Like, do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that. Don't remember
Oh my
that.
god, we've come so far.
Oh, that's all good. Do you know what? The reason, like, some was that amazing what the old devices could do. It is, but also these have got such a low bandwidth because
Do you remember
obviously
when
they
it
would.
was like really? Do you remember when it was like really fashionable to carry around a PDA?
Yeah, I was that guy,
Yeah, so was I. I had a PDA, but then I'd
and
have
everyone
like a
was like,
phone. Yeah,
everyone was
a
like,
phone, a
what's that? What's
PDA.
that? I
Oh
used
my
to
god.
sort of go. I used to
Yeah,
wow everybody by going around their houses when they sort of had their camera, and I'd
yeah.
take their SD card out of the camera and shove it in my phone and go, "Oh yeah, I'll have that picture. I'll have that picture,
Yeah.
and all that."
Oh
They'd be
my
like, "What?
god.
That's mad." It's
Like no
pretty
one would
cool.
get impressed. No one would get impressed with that anymore, will they?
Nah. Well, you still can't do that now.
Yeah, you can. I can do from my
And I,
camera. I can do Wi-Fi. I literally
oh
done it at that
yeah,
wedding. They
that's
wanted a
just
picture there and then, and I sent it straight to them.
yeah, I suppose so, but it's not as impressive as
Yeah. Oh, Windows CE. That was it. Billy No Mates.
Windows
Oh,
CE.
Windows CE is a My dad had a sat nav that actually broke, and he had to send it back in the end. It was that
Oh
bricked.
yeah,
But Windows CE is like a real, yeah, embedded compact. It's called. So it's very
that's
stripped
it.
down, and it's very outdated as well now. I think there's Windows. I don't know if there's a Windows 10 embedded. So there's Windows 7 embedded,
Mm.
which is what like cache points use.
Oh yeah, that, I mean, useful stuff. They all ran off
Oh
little
yeah, yeah.
compact flash cards, didn't they?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, little tiny, like very you on minimal specs, and you're
Yeah,
expecting this hardware to run for 10, 15 years.
I love it. I
Oh
love this.
my.
Look how small it is.
How much
But
RAM does that thing have?
like, it's under. I don't actually know. Let's have a look.
Um,
Settings. Oh god, this
what?
brings back so much memories. Um,
7. How
System.
much?
I don't know. Memory. Here we go.
It was it.
Right, you ready for this? Ready for this? Storage. Hang on a minute. Is that program memory? 50 megabytes.
Bytes.
Storage 66.98 megabytes. So
I'm surprised you here
don't
because
even
I'm quite
know what
surprised
that means.
as well.
Don't even know what's RAM.
Ever watching?
But yeah, this is currently connected to my SL4000 DMR radio over a Bluetooth area network, and because this is so like low bandwidth and it uses hardly any data, you can just literally just browse like very simple web pages on it. It's pretty cool.
What's the Do you know what the display is? The resolution?
What on this?
Yeah.
Like 320 by 320 or something.
320 by 320. Right,
Yeah.
this is my Apple Watch. This has got 484 by 396, and that has got a gig of RAM.
That's mad, isn't it?
It is,
Just
isn't it?
shows you, doesn't it? And you still can't find out what its IP address is on
Yeah,
it.
you probably can't. You could probably do more on that little device than this,
Yeah.
but that is down to software and Apple locking down everything they physically can.
Well, when the first iPhone came out, I was like, nah. I did have one, but I just couldn't get into it because it wasn't like a computer. Whereas this is more like a kind of like a computer, isn't it? Like
Oh yeah, so Billy No Mates, we had that issue with at work. So Windows 10 S. When COVID kicked off, we started doing this was at my last company actually. We done a sort of bring your own device.
Oh yeah.
So the whole Windows 10 S they backtracked on, and you could just activate it into a full copy of Windows.
Interesting.
That was a big thing that came out, that a lot of our users were using Windows 10 S, and we could actually we just told them just to activate it, go through this thing from Microsoft, and boom, they had a full version of Windows Pro.
Yeah, it's cool.
I was tempted to buy a load of Windows S keys on eBay and then sell them back, because you could crack it. Well, you wouldn't crack it, but you would
get around it.
Yeah. Do you know still the Windows 7 keys still work?
Is really
on Windows 11? It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty mad.
Say 2 more questions.
Couple more questions and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Andy's starting to get tired and cranky. Maybe the S stood for something. Yeah, I completely agree. It was a good idea at the time. You know, Windows needed something, or Microsoft needed something that they could put on a cheap laptop. They were trying to go up against Chromecast. Any questions at all? I don't know if we've got anything on the Discord. I have been requested by my friends to do this, so this goes out to them.
Right, hang a second.
You're finally gonna get the lagers. So are we taking bets? What do you reckon he's going to bring back?
I'm still live, Here he is.
What I was waiting.
I could hear the cat going mental downstairs. What the hell was that?
You know what I was waiting for then?
What?
I was waiting for you to text Helen, sort me out cheese board. Charles just showed me up.
Cheese board. Yeah.
Cheese board.
Right. Let's wrap this up then.
Yes. Well, thanks for showing up as always. We do apologise about last week. MTech's asking you to check his WhatsApp. I feel like if he's saying that, you need to read the message out. It's like a note in class. It's like, if a teacher finds a note in class, you've got to read it out.
That is that. That's the one. I did mention it actually. It's the picture of the iPad, the little pocket PC thing that he was sending me. So that's cool. Thanks for that. I did ask him earlier if he had one knocking around.
Dennis King has just said thanks for the live stream. You're more than welcome, Dennis.
Yeah, welcome, and more than welcome on that.
Come join us next week.
Nice to see you.
Here.
Thanks for everyone who's
COVID again.
Thanks for everyone who's locked in. And we'll be probably more organised next week. But I feel like it's been good. I feel like it's been good.
Yes, yeah. I feel like we've touched on a lot.
All right, guys. All right, so that's it from me and Charles.
And we'll see you next week.
Catch you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye.